Alright, so Nightmare Frontier. Now, just to say, since last time I managed to actually go into Chalice dungeons and get lost versions of both the Saw Spear and the safe that I was using. So I might eventually transfer over to using these when I maybe do some gem farming. But right now, what we got is good enough. I also went ahead and got a saw cleaver and put it to +6, an uncanny one, which means that it has a triangle gem that we can put in from. I believe we got it from Fishing Hamlet, or maybe it was Research Hall. I'm not sure. So there's this as well. Unfortunately, it's not doing as much damage. It's about 280 AR, mainly because I'm having to use pretty bad nourishing gems for the radials. They're only 7% ish. So I do have an arcane weapon now. Unfortunately, it's not that useful. Arcane damage is generally okay just from your tools anyway, so it's not really that much of a concern. But I did that anyway, just to. I mean, I could make the threaded cane. I could use that as well. We'll see how it goes. Right now, I've just got that just in case. So these guys are weak to fire, so they pretty much die in one hit. This should be a pretty easy area in general, just because I'm doing it pretty late. So this is the elevator that we already got, I believe. Yeah, not much there. There's a bunch of wandering nightmares in this area, so I'm just going to run down here and get this one. And they are all pretty weak to any element in general, really. So there's another one across here. Some of the bigger ones can actually knock you off ledges. They have like a knockback attack, so that can be kind of interesting. So this area is kind of complicated with the swamp and stuff like that. I'm going to use gloves here and make sure that I have antidotes and sedatives here, because those can be basically frenzy and poison are here. I'm also going to put on Gascoigne set while I wait for this hunter to get across here and heal. So there's a hunter axe hunter and a threaded cane hunter. We're going to try and hit him with the gloves. Once again, hunters are pretty. I mean, this one's just backing away. He's just completely backing away. Oh, okay. We should be able to do quite a lot of damage to him anyway, so yeah. The other one's coming across, so make sure to kill this one first. If you're just going to spam your gun. There we go. Doesn't do much damage from far away, but once again, this is a lower level area at this point. So I'm just putting on Gascoigne set because it has pretty good poison resist. There might be a better one, but it's good enough. So after those guys are killed, there is a Wandering Nightmare, which is kind of why I waited for them to come across. I'll try and get all of the remaining Wandering Nightmares. I already got the ones that drop chunks in this area, but yeah, I'll try and get the ones that I know of at least. Fading Lake, is that... Usually those are resist or like damage reduction. Yeah, fire damage reduction. Down here is a Madman's Knowledge. And there should be another Wandering Nightmare on the edge of the swamp here. So we'll just go ahead and get that. So those kind of crawler enemies in the swamps usually, they are weak to bolt. So I will be using bolt weapons on them. But everything else I think is weaker to fire, especially these guys. They're pretty resistant to bolt, because they do have a bolt attack as well. Okay, so pick this up. There's 2 Wandering Nightmares at this part, and there's a bunch of rock throwers that can quite easily kill you. They do a lot of damage, and I keep missing. So we'll get this one. I might have actually missed the second one up here. No, it's still there. Make sure I kill them. They're pretty weak to fire in general. I think maybe... Well, I forgot that these rocks have a lingering hitbox as well. So these guys drop shards as well. And here's the other one I killed. Yeah, quite often the other one will run away unless you're immediately aware of it, so... And also, with a physical weapon, you can actually take a while to kill them as well, because, you know, they have high physical defenses, so. But fire, bolt, and stuff just kind of chews through them. So, we're gonna kill this guy here. Unfortunately, there is another rock thrower on the other side. I just kind of rolled into that, to be honest. Get this bolt paper. And 3 more shards, which I really don't need at this point. I pretty much can upgrade anything to +6 whenever I want. Here's another Loran Beast. And yeah, the rock throwers in this area can quite easily do pretty much all your health if you're just not watching them. And they do have quite a lot of health. Thankfully they are weak to fire, as we can see. So that one's done. And we're pretty much going to get a shortcut back to the start of the area pretty soon after this. So there's a wandering nightmare immediately in front of you, and we're going to drop this tombstone here. So make sure that you kill it and kind of stand on the edge here. That's the shortcut back to the start of the area, which we will use because we are going to be hunters marking out eventually. Yeah, these guys do actually have attacks. They can actually kill you if you're not careful. And there's a spider over there, so I'm going to ignore the item on the top there. We can get it in a bit. Basically, that's the way forward into the next area. So in our rock thrower here, I'm just going to kill him. He's going to fall off the edge anyway. And down here is this item, which I think is a HP rune, I believe. Yeah, 10%. That's pretty good. I'll probably want to equip that. So you've got a bunch of coins down here, and once you go down here for the first time, good old Patches will kick us down. There will be a wandering nightmare as soon as you enter this area, so make sure that you kill it pretty much immediately, and you should be wanting to go into this more expansive area here. Unfortunately, you are going to be poisoned throughout this part, and there's going to be 4 wandering nightmares coming up, so you can see them over there. You need to be kind of quick if you want to get multiple ones. So there's 1, there's 2. I got knocked down, so it looks like the other one did manage to get away. So what I'm going to do is I am going to save and reload just to get the other one. So just quit, and then next time you go into the game it should have respawned. Okay, so loading back in, and there is still this wandering nightmare, which I'm having trouble catching. I mean, really they're dropping shards right now, which isn't like, you know, it's not exactly the best for me. I really don't have that much issue with getting shards now, so it's not really worth for me to like go and reload for them and such. Coming up is a winter lantern. Unfortunately, I think I'm just gonna get poisoned again, so I'm gonna wait for the grab to go off, and then I'm just going to pretty much spam attacks there, because that is a very dangerous enemy there. You're poisoned, you're getting damage done to you from the frenzy, and that's just really annoying. So we're going to warp back to the lantern, and the thing I picked up there was a messenger's gift. It kind of is like Chameleon from the Dark Souls games. It will go ahead and can I actually just use it from here? I think it only uses like 1 bullet. Yeah. Use. So it is an arcane tool, and you get to be messengers. So, you know, pretty much for good old PvP when you want to hide. But that's of no concern to us. So all the enemies here are going to have respawned, unfortunately. But I'm just concerned with getting to the elevator, which is, sorry, not the elevator, the shortcut that I opened. I almost fell off the edge there. So now that we've done that Patches event, we can go drop down and get the item that he was guarding. So I already picked one of these up, I believe, but these are chalice ritual materials for the Loran dungeon, as I recall. So we don't want to go this way, actually. Although I probably do want to kill this guy. I just remembered that he might actually attack us when we're further down there, so why not? We'll kill him. And up here should be the way that we want to go. Some blood vials. There's another wandering nightmare, because there's so many in this area. And we want to continue down this way. This will get us a few extra items in here. So there's a bunch of these small squid enemies. They're not too difficult to kill. Like I said, they are weak to bolt. So the safe just goes right through them like almost immediately. And there should be another item over here. Stunning deep sea. I don't know which one that is actually. Rapid poison. Okay. So I think we just want to drop down to the main area here. The main swamp area. Now, where do I want to go here? So I think there's another wandering nightmare somewhere over here. Where is it? I'm not sure actually. I thought there was one over here. Oh, there it is. Oh, I just completely went over the edge there. Okay. Alright, lock-on was a bit strange there, but that's okay. Yeah, I was wondering where that was, because I knew there was one around here. So, another antidote. And we're going to want to roll over to the other side here. So, there's an item in this cave here. You know, I'm kind of wary about just using the antidotes, because, like, you're going to take damage anyway. And it's really annoying to navigate these swamps, so... so I think this is the way up to the other rock thrower. And I think these guys are much weaker to fire, so we'll try the safe on them, but I believe they are weaker to fire. So that's one of them there, another Wandering Nightmare. And we managed to get the other one. It's kind of hard to get both. Yeah, they are weaker to fire by the looks of things. It's difficult to get both of those Wandering Nightmares. You have to be pretty quick in order to do it. Once again, it seems as though they are just dropping shards anyway. So that was another rune, Clear Deep Sea. So slow poison resistance, that's pretty useful. Maybe if we had that before the start of this part, but you know, whatever. So next up we have the item in the middle of the swamp here. Just tapping roll forever. This is another some of those ritual items, and this is the last rock thrower here. So we'll go and take an antidote and try and pick up the item. Coming up is another Winter Lantern. We're going to try using Black Sky Eye on it. 2 hits isn't bad. That was pretty good actually, although I guess I'm just going to take the frenzy, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. 2 vials is alright. So do I want to drop down here? Guess not. I think there was quite a few of these that I skipped previously. So there's one here. If I can actually get to it. There's another one here. And there should be one below us as well, actually. Or is this one I already killed? I'm not sure. So Hunter's Mark, that. I think I got them all there actually. Gonna be poisoned again. Oh god, I can't even get out. The item here. So let's go back to where we started here. So another item here. I might have missed one of the Wandering Nightmares there, or I might have already killed it. Should be an item across here. Yep. So we're pretty much at the end of the area now. Let me just undo that, whatever. And of course, I already picked up the 2 Wandering Nightmares here that drop the chunks. So let's try and get everything we can here. I think there is another Wandering Nightmare that should be over there, just in the middle there. So we might save and reload just to get the items in here. Good old more vials here. So yeah, this area can be a bit complicated. There is another swamp area that we're going to try and get to. This is where we took the elevator before. Yeah, so there's an item over there. And we already killed the Wandering Nightmare that would be over here because he did drop chunks. Okay, so what we'll do is there's an item around there and then there's an item over there. So, dashing through the swamp. Got to roll all the time basically because it's just so slow if you don't. Okay. Antidote once again. Unfortunately we are going to be poisoned again anyway, so. Another item over here. So over there's a Winter Lantern. You don't actually need to kill it all, so I won't, because fuck that. And there's going to be items on both sides of this area here. So I'll go ahead and get this safe out. Should have probably already been out. So that was another rune. This area just has so many runes, really. And there's going to be another item on the other side here. And I think that's pretty much it for this cave area here. I think this is just a last enemy over here. Managing to hit me. Yeah, these guys have rapid poison as well. So I think I picked up everything. Unless there's something else here? No. Nothing there. And back this way. Oh god. You know what? We'll actually Hunter's Mark back to the entrance. Oh god, look at that HP. That was close. Oh, that's weird. It took me back with this HP. I realised I could just take the elevator back down, and that would probably be safer. Plus, this should respawn all the Wandering Nightmares, maybe the ones that I missed. Other than that, we pretty much have free reign to go to the boss after this, so it should be a pretty easy boss. He's pretty weak to Arcane in general. Gloves just absolutely destroy him. Yeah, fire gems though. So let's just check if those nightmares have respawned. So there should be one around the middle here. Yeah. There we go. And if there's any other ones that I missed over here. Yeah, there we go. I knew I missed one here. So that should be everything. Unfortunately, I'm going to get poisoned again. There we go. Alright, so that should be pretty much all the items in this area. I think I pretty much got them all. I probably missed like one. This should be a pretty easy boss by this point. I am just going to glove spam it, because I am a little low on vials. Although it is weak to pretty much fire, bolt, and arcane damage, I believe. So all you need to do really is hit in his head. And I have like 62 arcane by this point. So as you can see, it just absolutely destroys. I was kind of afraid it wasn't going to reach there. It just barely... I don't think I hit him with the first attack there. So maybe I should get a bit closer. Look how much damage that does. I kind of just rolled there poorly. So he went through like 2 of his phases there. Now what you can do is you can just get under him, and he has this jump attack but is very unreliable. Wow, that was just absolutely disgusting. He has a jump attack, and if you stand under him, he basically jumps in place and misses you. Yeah, that boss. You'll see him in the Chalice dungeons later on. He'll be more difficult, just a little bit, but killing him will get us the healing Loran Chalice, which I'm probably going to split up some of... probably going to continue with that, just because I can. All you need for it is the Cold Blood, Flower Blood, and to create the Cursed and Defiled Chalice that we got previously, we need Bastard of Loran, which you find in the Loran Chalices. So that's pretty much the end of this area. It's quite an annoying area due to the poison and stuff like that, but not too bad if you know where you're going, because it can be kind of complicated a little bit. So that was it for now. After this, we'll probably do some of the chalices. I'll probably go and start up the Loran Chalice right now. I'll just make the ritual. So it's under here. I haven't done any of the Hintertomb stuff because it's kind of unnecessary. If you do want like early arcane like fire triangles, you can do Hintertomb, but otherwise you really don't need to. So we'll go ahead and make that and level up to maybe 64 arcane. I'm pretty much just holding on 30 vitality right now, just so, yep, 64 arcane. Getting pretty much up there now. What level am I total? 82. That's pretty high. The DLC just gives you so much if you can do it early. So that's it for now. We're probably going to continue over at the Forbidden Woods after I maybe try to go a bit further in the Chalices, so I'll see you guys then. Alright, so we're back with the Chalice dungeon bosses, and this one is the Beast Possessed Soul for the second time. So this guy, he's got a lot of health, so before it was a pretty easy fight before, but now that his health's been upgraded, it is a little more difficult. I actually fumble about to get the Augur on cast here to see if it would do any better. You know, maybe not the greatest idea to do in the boss fight, but regardless. The fire and serrated weapon still does pretty good against them in general, but generally fights at this point are just going to take longer to complete. He gets kind of stuck on the pillar here for some reason, but it ends up not being a big deal. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the parry or the riposte or whatever you would call it. Try and get the backstab here. I do get it, which is nice. I opt to just go for another charge attack instead. To be honest, I think I mainly do use charge attacks in this fight just because it is relatively easy to dodge his attacks and then get behind him. Unfortunately, I don't time that very well. Like, this attack is so easy to just, like, he takes so long to recover from it that it's just, yeah. And he also powers up, so yeah, you get a free hit on him basically there. So all in all, not a very difficult fight. We are going to run into more challenging Chalice dungeon bosses, but not that bad for now. Okay, so coming up to the second Bloodstarved Beast fight. So this one, he is once again like Beast Possessed Soul. He does have a lot more health. Really, this fight isn't too bad if you do know the trick to fighting him from the main game, which is generally to stay towards his right. He generally can't do too much to you, although he might catch you with some of his more erratic attacks. Let's just say. Yeah, it's not too bad by itself, although you do need to watch out for the poison in the second two stage. Well, the second and third stage, because that can really easily kill you, especially if he grabs you. Because if you're poisoned as you're being grabbed, it will still do the damage from it, so it can actually kill you quite easily if you do get hit by that. But more or less, I just take this as how I fought him in the main game. It doesn't take very long. The fire and serrated weapons obviously work well here. You could probably try and back off of him and spam gloves, executioner gloves or arcane weapons like that, or arcane tools like that. But I've noticed he does kind of quite quickly attack you, so that might not be the best idea. He is quite aggressive, so this attack, yeah, if you do get caught in that, it's very, very annoying to get out of. But there you go. He isn't too much trouble, especially since every time he does an attack, you can get a good 3, 4, 5 hits on him with a fast weapon. So yeah. So that's Bloodstarved Beast. You'll notice that these guys, the Chalice Dungeon bosses, are starting to drop chunks now. I'm not sure if this guy will, but he does poison me in there. I try to go in and just get AoE'd attacked at this time. Come on, just hit him. There we go. So yeah, you'll notice that we're starting to get chunks, which is nice from these Chalice dungeon. Okay, so we have the last boss of the Loran Chalice coming up, and he is pretty difficult. But fortunately for us, we do have executioner gloves. I kind of do half and half here, where I do use my weapon, but you can see that you get quite a lot of damage off just backing up and using executioner gloves or something like that. Black Sky Eye, always an option too. Black Sky Eye will actually do more damage, but Executioner's Gloves, just because they come out so quickly and they track, generally I find them more useful in most situations. Black Sky High is more of a either a luring tool or an enemy that doesn't really move around much. It's very useful on those. So Abhorrent Beast is quite a difficult fight if you do have to go into melee exclusively with him. He has a lot of combos that he likes to do with these storm attacks, and the dashes he does can be quite annoying. Some of his range in general is just very difficult to deal with. You can see I'm doing quite a lot of damage to him still, despite not really going for the combo too much. Yeah, he does have some interrupts in terms of his attacks, so I think he has a third phase, doesn't he? Where he does really like to spam the oh, I managed to get the big damage on him there. That was nice, yeah. I forgot that I did that, yeah. Yeah, he's really getting the combos going now. So this is the point where I kind of try to go mostly range with him. But he isn't too difficult. So one thing is, I think he drops a Bolt Waning Gem, but unfortunately it doesn't end up being too good compared to what I have already. I'm mostly using serrated weapons because there's a lot of beasts in the Loran Chalices, but 9.1 isn't like great, to be honest.